The giant warship Unity's Edge floated in the dark space between stars. It was bigger than most cities on Earth. Inside its metal walls, aliens from 12 different worlds worked together. They all had one enemy that scared them all: the Void Hunter, Dr. Lee. Hannah stepped off the small transport ship. She was tiny compared to the huge hulls of the warship. Her black hair was tied back in a simple way. She wore a plain white lab coat over her blue clothes. She carried only a small bag with her research tools. The other beings in the hall stopped to look at her. Most of them were soldiers. They were big and strong and covered in armor. They had scars from many battles. When they saw Hannah, they shook. Their heads, she looked like a child next to them. "That is Earth's help," asked a deep voice. Hannah turned to see General Thox walking toward her. He was from the Krathan race. His skin was gray like stone. He was 8 feet tall, with muscles like iron. 3 long scars ran down the left side of his face. His yellow eyes looked at her like she was a broken toy. "I am Dr. Lee Hannah," she said in a quiet voice. "I study alien life forms." General Thox made a sound like a laugh, but it was not happy. "We need warriors, not someone who looks at bugs under glass." Behind him came Admiral Vexstar. She was from the Zephyrian race. Her blue skin had silver lines that glowed softly. She was tall and thin, but her 4 arms were strong. Each arm had sharp claws at the end. Her 3 eyes all looked at Hannah. "At the same time, Earth sends us this small thing," Admiral Vexstar said. Her voice sounded like wind through metal. "The Void Hunter has killed thousands of our best soldiers. What can she do?" The third leader was War Chief Brule. He was from the Gorvak race. His body was like a walking tank. Thick armor grew from his skin like shells. His 2 heads both had red eyes that burned like fire. When he moved, the floor shook under his heavy feet. "Human bones break like glass," War Chief Brawl said. Both his heads spoke at the same time. "She will die if she even sees the Void Hunter." Hannah said nothing. She had heard words like this many times before. People always thought she was weak because she was small and quiet. She followed the 3 leaders to the war room. The war room was huge and dark. In the center was a big table that showed stars and planets with light. Red marks showed where the Void Hunter had attacked. There were many red marks. "Look at this," General Thox said. He pointed at the light table. 3 star systems. 47. Battle groups, all gone. The lights showed the path of death. Fleet after fleet had tried to stop the Void Hunter. All had failed. The creature moved from system to system like it was hunting them. "It knows where we are," Admiral Vexstar said. "It finds our biggest ships first. It destroys them all." "Our weapons do nothing," War Chief Brule added. "It eats the energy from our guns. It gets stronger when we fight it." Hannah looked at the red marks on the table. She pulled out a small tablet and started to write notes. The alien leaders did not notice her. They kept talking about bigger guns and stronger shields. "We need more firepower," General Thox said. "If we bring all our fleets together, ... That will not work," Admiral Vexstar said. "It destroyed the Omega fleet. That was our strongest force." "Then we make a trap," War Chief Brule said. "We use fake ships to trick it." Hannah kept writing. She was not looking at the red marks anymore. She was looking at the empty spaces between them. The places where the Void Hunter did not attack. A young human officer came over to her. He was tall with kind eyes. His name tag said LT. "Commander Park Jun-ho, Dr. Lee," he said quietly. "Can I help you with anything?" Hannah looked up at him. It was nice to see a friendly face. "Thank you. Can you show me the full attack records?" Jun-ho looked around. The alien leaders were still arguing about weapons and traps. "That information is classified. But I think you need to see it. He led her to a small side room. There were screens on all the walls. He typed on a keyboard and data filled the screens, numbers, pictures, and reports from every attack. This is everything we know, Junho said. Every ship that fought the Void Hunter. Every ship that died. Hannah read the reports carefully. The Void Hunter was huge, as big as their largest warships, was black with lights that changed colors on its skin. It had long arms that could reach out and grab ships. When it touched a ship, all the power died. But something was strange. Hannah read report after report. The Void Hunter only attacked military ships. It never hurt civilian ships. It never attacked research stations. It never touched unarmed vessels. Look at this, she said to Junho. She pointed at the screen. The cargo ship Peaceful Dawn was right next to the battle fleet when the Void Hunter came. It destroyed all the warships but left the cargo ship alone. Junho read the report. That is strange. The cargo ship had no weapons at all. And here, Hannah said. She showed him another report. The medical ship Mercy was helping wounded soldiers. The Void Hunter came and destroyed the military escort ships. But it did not touch the medical ship. Maybe it just did not see them, Junho said. No, Hannah said. Look at this sensor data. The Void Hunter looked right at the medical ship. It could have destroyed it easily, but it flew away instead. They looked at more reports. The same thing happened every time. Military ships were destroyed. Civilian ships were ignored. Ships with big guns died. Ships with no weapons lived. It is not hunting everything, Hannah said. It is only hunting military targets. But why? Junho sat down in a chair. Maybe it thinks we are invading its territory. Maybe, Hannah said. Or maybe it is afraid of us. Our big ships and weapons might scare it. Afraid? Junho said. It destroys entire fleets. How can it be afraid? Even the strongest animals run from what they fear, Hannah said. Bears are strong, but they run from humans with guns. Maybe the Void Hunter sees our warships and thinks we want to hurt it. Back in the war room, the alien leaders were still arguing. Their voices got louder and angrier. We cannot keep losing ships, General Thox shouted. Then what do you suggest? Admiral Vextar asked. We need a new plan, War Chief Brol, said Hannah, and Junho came back into the room. The alien leaders looked at them, double quotes, well, little human. General Thox said, do you have any ideas? Or are you just going to take notes? Hannah stood up straight. Even though she was small, her voice was clear. I need to see the Void Hunter myself. The room went quiet. Then all three alien leaders started laughing. See it yourself, Admiral Vextar said. You would die in seconds. The fragile human wants to commit suicide, War Chief Brol said. But General Thox stopped laughing. He looked at Hannah with his yellow eyes. You are serious? Yes, Hannah said. I need to study it, to understand what it really is. It is a monster, General Thox said. That is all you need to know. No, Hannah said. It is a living being, and all living beings have reasons for what they do. If we can understand its reasons, maybe we can stop the killing without more fighting. The alien leaders looked at each other. They did not believe her. To them, she was just a small, weak human who did not understand war. But Junho believed her. He had seen her work with the data. He had seen how smart she was. I will help her, he said. General Thox waved his hand. Fine. Go and die if you want. We have real work to do. As the alien leaders went back to their war plans, Hannah looked at the star map one more time. Somewhere out there, the Void Hunter was waiting. She did not think it was a monster. She thought it might be something much more dangerous, something that was scared and alone. 3 days after the meeting, Hannah was ready to leave. She had studied all the reports and made her plan. Lieutenant Commander Park Jun-ho met her in the small ship bay. He looked worried. "Are you sure about this?" he asked. "The alien commanders said we would be killed if we go near the Void Hunter." Hannah checked her equipment one more time. She had sensors, cameras, and communication tools. No weapons. "I think they are wrong," she said. "The data shows the Void Hunter does not attack unarmed ships." Jun-ho looked at the small research ship they would use. It was white and round, like an egg. It had no guns or missiles. It was built for studying space, not fighting. General Thox called this mission suicide, Jun-ho said. He said the fragile human will learn why scientists do not go to war. "Maybe," Hannah said. "But if I am right, this could save many lives." They got in the ship and left the big warship behind. Jun-ho flew them toward the Kepler Nebula. That was where the Void Hunter was last seen. The nebula was a cloud of gas and dust that glowed with purple and blue light. It was beautiful, but dangerous as they flew. Hannah talked to her friend on Earth. Dr. Kim Min-ho was also a scientist who studied alien life. He appeared on their screen as a small hologram. "Hannah, this is crazy," Min-ho said. His face looked scared. "What if you are wrong? What if it kills you? Then at least we will learn something new before we die," Hannah said. "But I do not think we will die. Look at all the data. It has never hurt anyone who is not trying to. Hurt it first. But what if it does not understand that you are peaceful?" Min-ho asked. "That is what I need to find out," Hannah said. They flew for 2 hours. The nebula got bigger and brighter around them. Purple clouds drifted past their windows like fog. Strange lights flashed in the distance. "I am getting readings," Jun-ho said. He looked at his screens. "Something big is moving out there." Hannah felt her heart beat faster. How big? Very big. As big as a battleship, maybe bigger. They flew deeper into the nebula. The purple clouds got thicker. It was hard to see very far. Then their sensors started beeping loudly. "There," Jun-ho said. He pointed out the front window. At first, Hannah saw only a dark shape in the purple mist. Then the shape moved, and she gasped. The Void Hunter was huge. It was black like the space between stars. Its body was long and smooth like a whale, but covered in hard plates like armor. Strange lights moved across its skin in patterns of blue and green. "It is beautiful," Hannah whispered. The creature had long arms that floated around its body like the tentacles of a sea animal. Each arm was as thick as a tree and glowed with soft light. At the front of its body was something like a face, but not like any face Hannah had ever seen. It had many eyes that shone like stars. "It sees us," Jun-ho said. His voice was shaking. The Void Hunter turned toward their small ship. It moved slowly and carefully, like it was curious. The lights on its skin changed from blue and green to yellow and white. "It is not attacking," Hannah said. She was writing notes as fast as she could. "The lights are changing. I think it is trying to communicate." The creature came closer. One of its long arms reached out toward their ship. Jun-ho's hand moved toward the engine controls, ready to run away. "Wait," Hannah said. "Let it come closer." The arm touched their ship very gently. The lights on the creature's skin flashed in a pattern, 3 short flashes, then 2 long ones, then 3 short flashes again. "Did you see that?" Hannah asked. 3, 2, 3. "That is a mathematical pattern." "Maybe it was just random," Jun-ho said. The creature did it again. 3 short flashes, 2 long ones, 3 short flashes. Then it waited. "It is waiting for us to answer," Hannah said. She turned to the communication controls. "Can you make our ship lights flash?" Jun-ho worked with the controls. "Yes, but why?" Flash. Back the same pattern. 3 short, 2 long, 3 short. Junho made their ship lights flash in the same pattern. The Void Hunter's lights got brighter. It moved around their ship in a circle, like a dog playing with a new friend. It is happy, Hannah said. Look how it moves. It is excited. Or maybe it is getting ready to eat us, Junho said. But the creature did not attack. Instead, it showed them a new pattern. 5 short flashes, then 3 long ones. Hannah wrote it down. 5-3, she said. Try that pattern. Junho flashed their lights 5 short and 3 long. The Void Hunter spun in place, its lights flashing bright colors all over its body. Dr. Kim, are you seeing this? Hannah called. To Earth. On the screen, Minho's mouth was open. This is incredible. It is trying to talk to you with math. They tried more patterns. 2-4-7-1. Each time the Void Hunter repeated the pattern back to them. Sometimes it made its own patterns for them to copy. This is first contact, Hannah said. We are talking to an alien intelligence. But why did it attack our fleets? Junho asked. Hannah watched the creature's movements. It stayed far from there. Ship, even when it was being friendly. It was careful not to touch them with its energy-glowing arms. I think I know, she said. Watch how it moves. It is being very careful not to hurt us. But our warships came at it with big guns and missiles. What would you do if strange creatures came to your home with weapons? I would fight back, Junho said. Exactly. It was defending itself. Suddenly, all the creature's lights turned red. It moved away from their ship very fast. Its body language changed from playful to afraid. What is wrong? Junho asked. Hannah looked at their sensors. Ships are coming. Big ships. On their communication system, a voice spoke with anger. It was General Thox. Research vessel, return to base immediately. You have violated direct orders. Through the purple mist, Hannah saw the shapes of warships coming toward them. There were 6 coalition battleships in attack formation. Their weapons were powered up and ready to fire. No, Hannah said. They do not understand. They come here with weapons, the Void Hunter will think we are attacking. Void Hunter's lights turned from red to bright orange. Its long arms started moving faster. It was getting ready to fight. General Thox, Hannah called on the radio. You have to power down your weapons. The creature will attack if it thinks you are a threat. The creature will attack anyway, came the reply. We are here to rescue you from your foolish mistake. Please. Listen to me, Hannah said. It was trying to communicate. Ate does not want to fight. All ships, prepare to fire. General Thox ordered. The Void Hunter's lights turned angry red. It moved between the small research ship and the big warships. Its arms spread wide, like it was protecting Hannah and Junho. It is trying to protect us, Hannah said. It thinks we are its friends now. But the warships kept coming. Admiral Vexstar. Voice came over the radio. Target the creature. All weapons ready. No, Hannah shouted. You are making a terrible mistake. War Chief Brohl's voice was loud and angry. The fragile human has been tricked by the monster. Fire all weapons. The first missile launched from the lead battleship. It flew through the purple mist toward the Void Hunter. The creature's lights flashed bright white with fear and anger. Then everything went wrong. The Void Hunter moved faster than anything that big should be able to move. Its long arms reached out and grabbed the missile. Instead of exploding, the missile just stopped working. Its lights went out. It drained the missile's power, Junho said. More missiles came. The Void Hunter caught them all with its arms. Each missile died as soon as the creature touched it. Then the creature started moving toward the warships. It is not trying to hurt them, Hannah said, watching carefully. Look at how it moves. It could attack much faster if it wanted to kill them. but the warships saw a monster coming at them. They fired everything they had: missiles, energy beams, explosive shells. The Void Hunter's arms moved like lightning, catching and draining the power from every weapon. "This is exactly what happened before," Hannah said. The warships attack. The creature defends itself. Everyone thinks it is a monster. One of the creature's arms reached out and touched the side of Admiral Vextar's ship. All the lights on the ship went out. The ship started drifting in space, powerless. All ships, retreat, General Fox ordered. The creature is too strong, but it was too late. The Void Hunter was angry now. It had tried to be peaceful, but the warships had attacked it anyway. Its lights flashed bright red as it moved from ship to ship, draining their power systems. "We have to do something," Junho said. Hannah looked at the creature, then at the helpless warships. She made a decision that would change everything. "Take us closer to the Void Hunter," she said. "What? That is crazy." "No," Hannah said. "It is the only way to stop this fight. The creature trusts us. Maybe it will listen to us." Junho flew their small ship toward the huge creature. The Void Hunter saw them coming. Its angry red lights changed to confused yellow ones. Hannah used their communication system to flash a message in the mathematical language they had learned. 32353, the patterns that meant friend and peace. The Void Hunter stopped attacking the warships. It turned all its attention to the small research vessel. For a moment, everything was quiet in the purple nebula. Then the creature did something that surprised everyone. It reached out very gently with one of its arms and touched their ship. But instead of draining their power, it seemed to be trying to communicate something more complex. Through the ship's hull, Hannah could feel a strange vibration. It was like music, but not any music she had ever heard. It was sad and lonely and old. "What is it doing?" Junho asked. "I think," Hannah said slowly, "it is telling us its story." The strange music filled Hannah's mind. It was not coming through her ears. She could feel it in her bones, in her heart. The Void Hunter was somehow putting thoughts and feelings directly into her head. She saw pictures that were not real pictures. She felt emotions that were not her emotions. The creature was showing her memories, old memories from long ago. "Can you see this?" she asked Junho. "See what?" he said. "I just feel strange, like someone is humming inside my head." The Void Hunter's arm stayed gently pressed against their ship. The vibrations got stronger. Now Hannah could see clear images. In her mind, she saw a beautiful world covered in crystal cities. Strange beings lived there, beings that looked like the Void Hunter, but smaller and more colorful. They flew through the air on wings made of light. They built amazing things with their minds instead of their hands. "It is showing me its home," Hannah whispered. "Its people." The images changed. Now she saw the crystal cities burning. Dark ships filled the sky like a swarm of angry insects. They shot beams of fire that melted everything they touched. The flying people tried to fight back, but there were too many enemies. Hannah felt the creature's pain as if it was her own pain. She saw its family dying. She felt its fear as it ran away from the burning world. The emotion was so strong that tears ran down her face. "They killed everyone," she said. "Everyone it loved is dead." The memory changed again. Now she saw the creature alone in space, flying from star to star. It was looking for other survivors, but it never found any. 'Twas the last of its kind. For hundreds of years, it wandered through the galaxy. It found this nebula and made it its home. But it was always alone, always sad, always remembering the family it had lost. "It has been by itself for centuries," Hannah said. "Can you imagine how lonely that must be?" Then the images showed something new. The creature had found something in the nebula, pieces of its old world. Somehow, parts of its home planet had survived and drifted here. The creature gathered these pieces and built a memorial to its dead people. That is why it defends this place, Hannah realized. This nebula is not just its home. It is a graveyard. It is where it keeps the memory of everyone it loved. The Void Hunter lifted its arm away from their ship. The mental connection stopped. Hannah felt empty without it, like losing a warm blanket on a cold night. But now she understood. The creature was not a monster, was a survivor carrying the weight of terrible loss. When the coalition fleets came with their big guns and aggressive formations, the creature thought its enemies had found it again. It fought to protect the only thing it had left, the memory of its people. "We have to tell the others," Junho said. "They need to know the truth." But before Hannah could answer, their radio crackled to life. General Thox's voice was full of anger. "Research vessel, return to your ship immediately. The coalition fleet is coming to destroy the creature once and for all." "What?" Hannah grabbed the radio. "General, you cannot do that. The creature is not evil. It is just defending its home. It destroyed 6 of our ships." Admiral Vextar's voice cut in. "It is too dangerous to live because you attacked it first." Hannah said, "If you had come in peace, none of this would have happened." "The fragile human is confused," War Chief Brule said. "The monster has put false thoughts in her head. She cannot think clearly anymore." More ships were coming through the purple mist. Hannah counted 12 battleships, all with their weapons ready. This was not a rescue mission. This was an execution. The Void Hunter saw them coming too. Its lights turned from sad blue to angry red. It moved away from Hannah's ship and spread its long arms wide. It was ready to fight again, even though it was outnumbered. "Please do not do this," Hannah begged over the radio. "There has to be another way." "There is no other way," General Thox said. "The creature must die." Hannah made the hardest decision of her life. She unbuckled her safety belt and stood up. "What are you doing?" Junho asked. "I am going out there," she said. "Out where?" "Into space. You will die in seconds." "Maybe," Hannah said. "But maybe the creature will protect me. And maybe the coalition ships will not fire if I am in the way." She put on a spacesuit, a special suit that could keep her alive in the vacuum of space for a short time. Her hands shook as she sealed the helmet. "This is insane," Junho said. "Even if the creature does not hurt you, you have no way to get back to the ship. Then you will have to catch me," Hannah said. She tried to smile, but she was very scared. She opened the airlock and stepped out into space. The purple nebula swirled around her like a living thing. In the distance, she could see the coalition battleships getting closer. The Void Hunter saw her floating alone in the darkness. Its angry red lights changed to surprised yellow ones. One of its long arms reached toward her, moving very slowly and carefully. Hannah did not try to run away. She floated there in her white spacesuit, looking tiny next to the massive creature. The arm touched her gently, like a parent touching a sleeping child. She felt the mental connection start again. This time, it was stronger. The creature was confused. Why was the small being here? Why was she not afraid? Hannah tried to send her own thoughts back. She thought about peace. She thought about friendship. She tried to show the creature that not all beings with ships and weapons were enemies. The Void Hunter's lights changed to soft green. It understood. This small creature was trying to help it, but the coalition ships were almost in firing range. General Thox's voice boomed across space on all radio channels. "Creature, release the human and surrender. You are surrounded." Arm curled protectively around Hannah. Its lights flashed in the mathematical patterns it had learned before. 32353, the patterns that meant friend and peace. "It is trying to talk to you," Hannah called over the radio. "It wants to make peace." Monsters do not make peace, War Chief Brule replied. They only understand strength. All ships lock weapons on target, Admiral Vexstar ordered. The Void Hunter felt the targeting systems lock onto it. Its lights turned orange with fear. But it did not let go of Hannah. Instead, it pulled her closer to its body, trying to shield her with its own bulk. It is protecting me, Hannah said. Can you not see? It cares about life, even the life of a stranger. The creature is using you as a shield, General Thok said. It proves how evil it is. But Hannah knew better. Through the mental connection, she could feel what the creature was feeling. It was not using her as a shield. It was trying to save her life, even though that put it in more danger. Dr. Kim, she called to Earth through her suit radio. Are you recording this? Her friend's voice came back weak and full of static. Yes. Hannah, the whole world is watching. Then tell them what I am about to do, she said. Hannah pushed herself away from the Void Hunter's protective arm. She floated free in space between the creature and the Coalition ships. Now she really was a shield, but by her own choice. I will not move, she announced. If you want to kill this being, you will have to kill me too. The radio was quiet for a long moment. Then General Thok spoke, his voice full of disbelief. You would die for a monster? I would die to prevent a murder, Hannah said. This creature is not a monster, it is a refugee. It is the last survivor of a genocide. And you want to finish what its enemies started. Behind her, the Void Hunter's lights pulsed with soft blue patterns. It was trying to tell her something through their mental link. Images flowed into her mind again, but these were not memories of the past. These were hopes for the future. The creature showed her a dream of working together with other beings, of protecting life instead of destroying it, of finding purpose in helping others instead of just remembering the dead. It wants to help, Hannah said. It wants to use its power to protect people, not hurt them. But first, you have to stop treating it like an enemy. Even if that is true, Admiral Vexstar said, how can we trust something so powerful? The same way you trust me, Hannah replied. By giving it a chance to prove itself. The Coalition ships held their positions. Their weapons were still charged and ready. The Void Hunter waited, its lights dim with exhaustion and sorrow. Then something unexpected happened. Sergeant Oh Min-jae, a human Marine on one of the Coalition ships, spoke over an open channel. I can see her, he said. The little doctor is floating out there in nothing but a spacesuit. She is not afraid. If she is not afraid, maybe we should not be afraid either. Other voices started speaking. Human voices, alien voices, all wondering the same thing. If the creature was really evil, why was it being so gentle with the human? Why was it not using her as a hostage? Perhaps, said a new voice, we should listen to what the human has learned. It was Captain Jong Hyok, commander of the human diplomatic ship. His voice was calm and thoughtful. Dr. Lee has made first contact with an unknown intelligence, he continued. This could be the most important moment in galactic history. Should we not at least hear what she has discovered before we decide to destroy it? General Thox was quiet. For a long time, finally, he spoke. You have 5 minutes, human. Tell us what you think you have learned. Hannah floated in the darkness between two forces that could destroy each other. She had 5 minutes to prevent a war. She began to speak. Hannah floated in the cold darkness of space. The purple nebula swirled around her like a gentle storm. Behind her, the Void Hunter waited with dim blue lights. In front of her, 12 Coalition battleships pointed their weapons at them both. She had 5 minutes to save 2 civilizations from destroying each other. Listen to me, she said into her radio. Her voice was calm, even though her heart was beating very fast. This creature is not what you think it is. It is a killer, General Thok said. We have seen what it can do. Yes, you have seen it defend itself, Hannah replied. But have you asked why it fights? Have you tried to understand what it is protecting? Through her mental link with the creature, she felt its sadness like a heavy weight. The Void Hunter was tired of fighting. It was tired of being alone. But it could not let anyone hurt the last pieces of its dead world. Let me show you what I have learned, Hannah said. Dr. Kim, can you connect to the coalition ships? Her friend's voice came from Earth. Yes, Hannah. I am sending the data now. On the screens of every coalition ship, images appeared. They were the memories the Void Hunter had shared with Hannah. The beautiful crystal cities. The flying people with wings of light. The burning world. The long years of loneliness. This is its home, Hannah said. Or what used to be its home. Its people were killed by an enemy we do not even know. It escaped, but everyone it loved died. On Admiral Vextar's ship, the crew watched the images in silence. They saw the creature as a young being, playing with others of its kind. They saw it learning to fly between the stars. They saw the terror in its eyes when the destroyers came. For 800 years, it has been alone, Hannah continued. 800 years without hearing another voice, without seeing another face like its own. Can you imagine that kind of loneliness? War Chief Brol's voice was quieter than before. But why does it attack our ships? Because your ships look like the ones that killed its family, Hannah said. Big, powerful, covered in weapons. When you come at it in battle formation, it thinks its enemies have found it again. The Void Hunter pulsed with soft light behind her. Through their connection, it was showing her more memories. This time, she saw what it had built in the nebula. There is something else, Hannah said. Something you need to see. The creature has not just been hiding here. It has been building something. She shared the new images with the coalition ships. Deep in the nebula, hidden by the purple gas, was a structure, unlike anything they had ever seen. It was made from pieces of the creature's destroyed homeworld, crystal formations and metal structures that glowed with inner light. It is a memorial, Hannah explained, a place to remember the dead. Every piece was saved from its homeworld. Every crystal holds the memory of someone who died. The structure was beautiful and sad at the same time. Gardens of crystal flowers grew in patterns that spelled out names in the creature's ancient language. Towers of light reached up like prayers to the stars. At the center was a great sphere that pulsed with the rhythm of a heartbeat. The sphere contains the genetic patterns of its entire species, Hannah said. It is not just a memorial. It is a seed bank. If the creature ever found a way to bring its people back, the patterns are there, waiting. On General Thox's ship, the Krathan warrior stared at the images. His own people had been nearly destroyed in a great war long ago. He understood the pain of losing everything you loved. But this does not change what it has done, Admiral Vextar said. It has killed our people. Only when they threatened what it was protecting, Hannah replied. Look at the data again. Really look at it. Every ship it destroyed was armed. Every ship was approaching in attack formation. It never hurt anyone who came in peace. She was right, and they all knew it. The medical ships, the cargo vessels, the research stations, all had been left alone. The creature only fought when it felt threatened. What do you want us to do? Asked Captain Jang Hyok. I want you to try something different, Hannah said. I want you to approach without weapons. I want you to try talking instead of fighting. Talk to it how? War Chief Brule asked. It does not speak our language. It speaks mathematics, Hannah said. And it speaks emotion. It can share thoughts and feelings directly. But first, you have to show it that you are not its enemies. The creature behind her pulsed with hopeful yellow light. It had understood some of their conversation through the mental link. For the first time in centuries, it was hearing voices that did not sound angry or afraid. "Power down your weapons," Hannah said. "All of them. Show it that you come in peace." "That is too dangerous," General Thok said. "If you are wrong about its intentions, then you can power them up again," Hannah replied. "But if I am right, this could end all the fighting." There was a long silence. The coalition commanders talked to each other on private channels. Some wanted to trust the small human floating in space. Others thought she was being fooled by an alien intelligence she could not understand. Finally, Captain Jang Hyok's voice came over the radio. "The human ships are powering down weapons." One by one, the human vessels shut off their targeting systems and pulled back their missile launchers. The Void Hunter's lights grew brighter as it sensed the change. The Zephyrian fleet is also powering down, Admiral Vexstar announced after another pause. More lights went dark on the alien ships. The creature's entire body began to glow with soft, peaceful colors. But General Thox and War Chief Brule still hesitated. Their people had been warriors for thousands of years. It was hard for them to put down their weapons in front of an enemy. "Please," Hannah said, "give peace a chance." General Thox spoke slowly. "Krathan ships, powering down weapons. Gorvak, fleet, weapons offline." War Chief Brule added reluctantly. Now all 12 battleships floated in space with their weapons dark and cold. The Void Hunter's joy was so strong that Hannah could feel it through their mental link. For the first time in 800 years, it was surrounded by others who did not want to hurt it. The creature began to move toward the coalition ships. But this time, its movements were slow and careful. Its lights pulsed in the mathematical patterns it had taught Hannah. 32353, friend. "Peace, it is trying to communicate with you," Hannah said. "Flash your navigation lights in the same pattern." One by one, the coalition ships began to flash their lights. 3 short flashes, 2 long ones, 3 short flashes. The creature spun in joy, its whole body glowing like a rainbow. Then something wonderful happened. The creature began to sing. The song was not made of sound. It was made of light and emotion and thought. Every being on every ship could feel it. In their minds was a song of greeting, of hope, of gratitude for not being alone anymore. Dr. Yoon Sora, Earth's expert on alien psychology, was listening from her laboratory. Her voice came over the communication system, full of wonder. "This is incredible," she said. "The creature is not just intelligent, it is emotionally sophisticated. It understands complex feelings like forgiveness and hope." But as the song continued, it changed. The joy faded into something else, a deep, aching sadness that made everyone who heard it want to cry. "It is morning," Hannah realized. All this time, it has been holding in its grief. Now that it feels safe, the sadness is coming out. The creature's song told the story of its pain. 800 years of loneliness, 800 years of guarding the dead, 800 years of having no one to talk to, no one to share its memories with. On War Chief Brule's ship, the tough Gorvak warrior wiped tears from his 4 eyes. "I have never felt such sorrow," he said. "How did it survive so long alone?" "Because it had a purpose," Hannah answered. "It had to protect the memory of its people. But now maybe it can find a new purpose." Through their mental link, she sent the creature a new idea. She showed it images of the coalition world's millions of different beings living together in peace. She showed it the good things they did, helping planets in trouble, stopping wars, protecting the weak. "You could help us," she told it without words. "You could use your power to save lives instead of just protecting the dead." The creature's song changed again. This time, it was full of questions. Could it really join with others? Could it find a new family among the stars? Could it honor its people by helping other people live? Yes, Hannah said out loud. So everyone could hear. You can. But first, we need to trust each other. The creature moved closer to the coalition ships. Its long arms reached out gently toward them. When its arms touched the hulls of the ships, it did not drain their power. Instead, it shared something beautiful. On every ship, the lights dimmed and then came back brighter than before. The creature had given them energy instead of taking it away. A gift, Admiral Vexstar whispered. It is giving us a gift. But then, alarms started beeping on every ship. Something was coming through space toward them. Something big and fast and full of hostile energy. Enemy contact, someone shouted. Entropy swarm approaching from dark space. The entropy swarm was one of the galaxy's greatest terrors, a group of living machines that ate entire star systems. They had appeared from nowhere, heading straight for a populated world. General Thox's voice was grim. All ships, prepare for battle. We'll have to stop them before they reach the civilian population. But the coalition fleet was still too far away from the swarm. Even at full speed, they would not arrive in time to save the innocent people. The Void Hunter sensed the approaching danger through its connection with Hannah. Its lights turned from peaceful blue to determined gold. It had found its new purpose. Without hesitation, the creature that had once been called a monster turned toward the real monsters approaching from the dark. It was no longer alone. It had allies now, and together, they would save a world. The entropy swarm filled the space ahead of them like a dark cloud of death. Hundreds of biomechanical creatures moved together as one mind. Each creature was the size of a small ship, with metal teeth and energy weapons growing from their bodies. Like thorns. How many people live on Kepler Prime? Hannah asked as Junho pulled her back into their ship. 12 million, Admiral Vexstar replied over the radio. Mostly families and children. They have no military defenses. The coalition fleet was too far away. Even at maximum speed, they would arrive 3 hours after the swarm reached the planet. By then, there would be nothing left to save. But the Void Hunter was already moving. The creature that had been alone for 800 years now flew beside the coalition ships like it belonged there. Its lights pulsed with new purpose. Her mental link with it, Hannah felt its determination. It wants to help, she said. It can move much faster than our ships. One creature against an entire swarm, War Chief Brule said. That is suicide. Not if we work together, Hannah replied. It has the speed and power. We have the tactics and coordination. Together, we might be able to stop them. General Thox was quiet for a moment. Then he spoke. What do you need from us? Hannah smiled. The alien commander who had called her fragile was now asking for her help. I need to coordinate between the creature and your fleet, she said. I can translate its communications and help plan the attack. Admiral Lee Taeon, the human fleet commander, spoke up. My ships are the fastest. We can provide support while the creature engages the main swarm. Agreed, General Thox said. All ships follow the creature's lead. Dr. Lee will coordinate the attack. The Void Hunter shot forward through space like a living missile. The coalition ships followed as fast as they could, but they were still much slower. Hannah watched on. Her sensors as the creature raced toward certain death to save people it had never met. Why is it doing this? Junho asked. Because it has found something worth protecting again, Hannah said. Not just memories of the dead, but hope for the living. The creature reached the entropy swarm 2 hours before the coalition fleet. Hannah watched on long-range sensors as one being faced. Hundreds of enemies. The battle began immediately. The swarm creatures attacked like angry wasps, swarming around the Void Hunter from all sides. Their energy weapons lit up space with deadly fire. But the creature was faster and smarter than they were. It moved through the swarm like a dancer, its long arms reaching out to touch enemy after enemy. Each touch drained the power from the biomechanical creatures, leaving them floating, dead in space. "Incredible," Admiral Vextar said. "It is destroying them faster than they can attack." But there were so many enemies. For every swarm creature the Void Hunter destroyed, 2 more took its place. Soon it was surrounded by a sphere of enemies, all firing at once. "It is getting overwhelmed," War Chief Brule observed. "We need to help it. We are still 1 hour away." General Thok said grimly, but Hannah had an idea. Through her mental link, she could still feel the creature's thoughts even across the vast distance. She could see what it saw, feel what it felt. "I can guide it," she said. "I can help it fight more effectively." "How?" Junho asked. "By showing it our military tactics. The creature is powerful, but it fights alone. Does not know how to use strategy and teamwork." Hannah closed her eyes and concentrated. Through the mental link, she began to share human knowledge of warfare. She showed the creature how to divide its enemies, how to attack the weak points in their formation, how to use their own strength against them. The change was immediate. Instead of fighting every enemy at once, the Void Hunter began to pick them off in small groups. It would dart into the swarm, destroy a few creatures, then retreat before the others could surround it. "The creature is learning," Admiral Lee Taeyon said with admiration. "It is adapting our tactics to its own abilities." But the swarm was learning too. The biomechanical creatures began to change their attack patterns. They spread out more, making it harder for the Void Hunter to reach them. They started attacking in waves, trying to tire out their lone enemy. "They are adapting as well," Dr. Yoon Sora said from Earth. "The swarm has a collective intelligence. It learns from every attack." The battle was turning against the Void Hunter. It was still destroying enemies, but not fast enough. The main body of the swarm was already moving past the creature toward the defenseless planet. 30 minutes until they reached Kepler Prime. Someone reported Hannah felt the creature's exhaustion through their link. It had been fighting alone for over an hour. Its energy was running low, but it refused to give up. It would die before it let the swarm reach the innocent people on the planet. "We have to do something," Hannah said. "We are still 30 minutes away," General Thok said. "There is nothing we can do." But Hannah was not giving up. She had spent her whole life being told she was too small, too weak, too fragile to make a difference. But she had proven them wrong before. "Dr. Kim," she called to Earth. "Can you boost our communication signal?" "Yes. But why?" "I want to try something that has never been done before," Hannah said. "I want to create a permanent mental link between the creature and our entire fleet." "That is impossible," Dr. Yoon Sora said. "The human brain cannot handle that kind of connection." "Maybe one human brain cannot," Hannah said. "But what about 12 brains working together?" She had an idea that was crazy and dangerous and might kill her. But it was the only way to save the planet. "I need volunteers," she said. "Humans who are willing to join their minds with mine and the creatures. Together, we can create a network that will let us coordinate perfectly." "I volunteer," Junho said immediately. "So do I," said Admiral Lee Taeyon. "Ami," added Captain Jang, HYEOK. One by one, the human officers on every ship volunteered. Soon there were 11 humans ready to risk their minds to save strangers. "Link us together," Hannah said to Dr. Kim. Using quantum communication technology, they created a network of human minds connected to Hannah and through her to the Void Hunter. The mental strain was enormous. Hannah felt like her head was going to explode, but it worked. Suddenly, the Void Hunter was not fighting alone anymore. It had 11 human minds helping it think, plan, and coordinate. The humans could see through its eyes, feel through its senses. They became one fighting unit with the speed of the creature and the tactical knowledge of humanity. The coalition fleet was still 20 minutes away, but now they could fight as if they were already there. The Void Hunters' attack pattern changed completely. Instead of fighting randomly, it began to execute complex military maneuvers that no single mind could have planned. It divided the swarm into smaller groups, then destroyed each group with precision strikes. Amazing, War Chief Brule said. It fights like an entire fleet commanded by a brilliant general. But the real test came when the coalition ships finally arrived. Now they had to coordinate physical ships with the creature in real time. All ships, follow my lead, Hannah said. Through the mental network, she could control both the creature and guide the fleet simultaneously. The battle that followed was like a deadly dance. The Void Hunter would sweep through the enemy formation, draining power from dozens of swarm creatures. The coalition ships would follow behind, finishing off the weakened enemies with precise weapon fire. Admiral Vextar's ship provided, covering fire while the creature attacked. General Thox's heavy cruiser used its massive guns to break up large enemy formations. War Chief Brawl's armored vessel protected the smaller ships from swarm counterattacks. The humans are the glue that holds us together, General Thox said as he watched the perfect coordination. They understand both our tactics and the creature's abilities. The tide of battle turned quickly. The swarm, which had seemed unstoppable, was being destroyed piece by piece. The biomechanical creatures could not adapt fast enough to counter. The combined intelligence of humans, aliens, and the ancient creature. In less than an hour, it was over. The last swarm creature died in a burst of drained energy. The space around Kepler Prime was filled with the wreckage of the invaders. The planet was saved. Hannah collapsed from the mental strain of coordinating the battle. When she woke up, she was in the medical bay of the Coalition flagship. Junho was sitting beside her bed, smiling. "You did it," he said. "You saved 12 million people." "We did it," Hannah corrected. "All of us together." Over the next few days, everything changed. The Void Hunter was no longer seen as a monster. It became the guardian, the protector of the Coalition's outer territories. It worked with the fleets, using its incredible abilities to defend innocent worlds from threats that normal ships could not handle. General Thox wrote in his official report, "The human Dr. Lee has shown us that true strength comes not from weapons or armor, but from the courage to reach out to others, even when they seem different or dangerous." Admiral Vextar added, "We almost destroyed something beautiful because we did not understand it. The human taught us to listen before we judge." War Chief Brule was the most changed of all. The warrior who had called Hannah fragile now said, "The strongest among us is often the one who looks the weakest. The human has the heart of a true warrior." 6 months later, Hannah stood on the observation deck of a new space station built in the Kepler Nebula. Through the transparent metal, she could see the Guardian moving slowly through the purple clouds. On its back, it had grown a small habitat, where she could live and work. The creature was no longer alone. Coalition ships visited regularly. The memorial to its dead people had become a place of pilgrimage for beings from across the galaxy who had lost loved ones. But more importantly, the Guardian had found a new family. It worked with the Coalition fleets to protect worlds and save lives. It had found a way to honor its dead by keeping others alive. Dr. Kim's voice came through the communication system from Earth. "How does it feel to be the most famous xenobiologist in the galaxy?" Hannah smiled as she watched a group of young Coalition officers learning to communicate with the Guardian using light patterns. Among them were humans, Krathans, Zephyrians, and Gorvax, all working together. "It feels like home," she said. The creature that everyone had called a monster had become the greatest protector the galaxy had ever known. And the human they had called fragile had shown that sometimes the smallest person can make the biggest difference. In the end, the greatest weapon was not force or fear, but understanding and compassion. And in a galaxy full of wonders and dangers, that was exactly what they needed most.